mourning from both sides of the aisle.
He and I certainly fought plenty over our differences about politics and policy, but we also traveled the world together.
As Republican Senator Lindsey Graham passes away at 71. The investigation,
we the people will bring justice.
After a death involving an ICE agent. Firefighters get a little help.
The guy behind me goes, I think she wants us to follow her.
From an unexpected source. And fans across the globe are getting ready for the World Cup semis. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak. Hello, South Florida. I'm Frida Flores.
I'm Alejandro Hernandez. Today is Monday, July 13th, 2026.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Loss of a leader, D.C. dealing with the death of a longtime senator.
Republican South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has died from what his office says was a, quote, brief and sudden illness Saturday. Graham had just returned to Washington from a trip to Ukraine.
CNN's Gene Sullivan has details on his long career and the outpouring of messages from various leaders.
Senator Lindsey Graham seen here meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky Friday in Kyiv. Hours after returning to Washington, first responders were called to his home.
EMS 6 responders, close to injured 7 medic 7 on scene, cardiac arrest. EMS 6 responders, close to injured 7 medic 7 with cardiac arrest.
His office confirming the South Carolina senator had died following what a spokesperson called a brief and sudden illness Saturday. The statement saying his family appreciates prayers and asks for privacy.
What a terrible loss it is. He's a great politician.
Flags at the White House and Capitol were lowered to half staff in honor of the senator. Graham was elected to the U.S. Senate in 2002. He was known as a foreign policy hawk and was a leading voice for the unwavering U.S. support for Israel and Ukraine. He was admired by politicians on both sides of the aisle.
This was very hard news to wake up to this morning. He and I certainly fought plenty over our differences about politics and policy. But we also traveled the world together.
He was a prominent voice in the Republican Party and ran for president in the 2016 race, but lost the Republican nomination to Donald Trump.
When I was a new senator, he welcomed me in. He knew that my path was different. He understood the power of change in South Carolina.
Graham's latest trip to Ukraine was part of a push for a bipartisan bill that would place heavy sanctions on Russia. The bill's co-sponsor, Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal, calling for the Senate to pass the sanctions package as, quote, a fitting tribute to the late senator. Graham was 71. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Senator Mitch McConnell has provided an update on his health, saying he fell at his home in Washington, D.C., and later developed a mild case of pneumonia. The longtime Kentucky senator has been hospitalized for weeks, fueling speculation about his condition. He says doctors confirmed he did not suffer any broken bones or a concussion. However, McConnell did say he was briefly unconscious following the fall.
Leaders in Houston, Texas are expressing frustration over what they say is a lack of cooperation from federal authorities after an ICE agent shot and killed a man this week. Immigration officials say a federal agent shot 52-year-old Lorenzo Araujo after he allegedly rammed a law enforcement vehicle and refused verbal commands during a traffic stop. 3 other men were also detained during the operation. Their attorneys say the federal agent's version of events contradicts what their clients witnessed.
My government, my federal government, took away my father. We the people will bring justice. We the people are America.
Harris County's district attorney says his office may have to ask a judge for access to Araujo's vehicle if federal authorities continue to deny access to the evidence. Meanwhile, Houston's mayor has also criticized what he describes as a lack of cooperation from the federal government.
President Trump said in a social media post Friday that the ceasefire with Iran is officially over. The president says diplomatic talks will continue despite the end of the ceasefire. Meanwhile, the renewed conflict is already having an impact at the pump, according to the AAA. The national average price for regular gallon of gasoline has risen 9 cents in just 2 days as concerns grow over global oil supplies.
Police in Toronto, Canada are searching for the shooter or shooters involved in a deadly shooting at the Salsa at St. Clair Festival. At least 2 people are dead and 4 others are recovering from gunshot wounds. Police say 2 firearms were recovered, but no arrests have been made. The shooting happened Saturday as thousands of people gathered for music and dancing at Canada's largest Latin street festival when reports of an active shooter came in.
2 males, since that incident began, have been pronounced dead. Another 4 individuals have been transported to local hospitals with serious injuries.
Police have asked the public to avoid the Midtown area as the investigation continues. Investigators are also urging anyone with information, photos, or video of the shooting to contact police.
More than 30 states have reported seeing cases of a new severe stomach virus that is affecting hundreds of people across the country. This parasite has been linked to eating contaminated produce, and it has also been found in swimming pools where people might ingest pool water, leading to the sickness.
This can be miserable for people if they do get sick.
The bug can cause anything from nausea to diarrhea and even cramping and bloating. Unlike most stomach viruses that last 24 to 48 hours, this new bug can last much longer. To stay safe, the best bet is washing all produce before consuming and staying away from swimming pools for the next couple of weeks.
The Florida Everglades annual python hunt has now begun. Hunters are looking to kill as many invasive Burmese pythons as possible. The hunt began on Friday and lasts until July 19th. These pythons were first introduced through a pet trade decades ago and continue to pose a threat to native wildlife. But this 10-day competition with a $1,000 prize should help reduce the amount of pythons in the area.
Who would have thought a goat would have such a good sense of direction and become the hero of this Colorado fire? Reporter Karen Morfitt tells us how a goat landed firefighters a helping hoof.
Fire dispatch.
While crews work to keep a small fire from growing out of control,
Clear of the Rock Creek fire.
they got an unexpected helping hand, or rather an extra set of hooves.
We're trying to get our gear on. We know it's going to be steep, and we know it's going to be a little bit, dicey walking out of there. And she sits in front of me about 10 feet, and she just keeps looking back, and she starts making these noises, and the guy behind me goes, I think she wants us to follow her.
Shane Coyne is the superintendent of the Southern Colorado Interagency Wildland Team, one of several who responded to the Rock Creek fire near Cheyenne Mountain State Park in Colorado Springs. He says the goat wasn't just along for the ride. She helped lead them to the burn area.
She was actually trying to take us down an area that wasn't maybe quite as rocky, wasn't quite as slippery, maybe had better footing. So she was obviously a pro at her job.
That goat stuck around to do some mitigation by munching on brush while firefighters went about their work. The curious visitor stuck close to the crew and was even caught on camera chasing their truck.
A little goat. Who would have known?
That goat, it turns out, is a family pet and lives nearby.
They were staging at our place, actually, and I saw Goldie just take off after the first fire crew went out. And I'm like, well, she knows the area. She'll be fine. And she knows where we live, so I was like, yeah, go have fun and watch over them for us.
Goldie did, likely having learned a thing or two from her owner, Castle Rock firefighter Pete Glader, who was also fighting the fire.
Basically, she's been just walking along, as you can see, helping with some mitigation of vegetation that's still in the black, and we've been concerned about lighting up again.
The cell phone video of her on the line has not only turned Goldie into an unlikely wildfire star, it's giving Coloradans during a challenging fire season a reason to smile.
A lot of folks have lost quite a bit, and folks are still fighting, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more loss, so as many good stories as we can get and bring some levity to it, I think can help with hope and healing.
The Marlins got hit with a reality check as the Guardians came into town and whipped out the broomsticks.
That's still ahead, and so's this story. Can England bring the World Cup home? Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
As we turn to sports this morning, the semifinal matchups are set at the World Cup. The two matches will definitely be exciting to watch. And in a shocking turn of events, the 4 teams everyone expected to be here actually made it. It all starts in Arlington, Texas tomorrow with Spain and France. They entered the World Cup as co-favorites, and now they'll clash tomorrow in Dallas Stadium for a spot in the final. France has looked unstoppable, but Spain has had their number, beating them in the last 2 major tournament meetings. Will Kylian Mbappe send France to a 3rd straight World Cup final, or will Lamine Yamal finally deliver a signature moment on the world's biggest stage? As for the other semifinal, the positions were settled over the weekend, as we begin with the quarterfinal matchup here in South Florida, as Norway and England fought through 120 minutes of intensity at Miami Stadium on Saturday. Fans in London were up until the early morning hours watching the game over satellite. They watched as Jude Bellingham played hero once again, delivering another brace to lift England past Norway 2-1. Despite Norway controlling the tempo for a majority of the match, the 3 Lions showed resilience to reach the World Cup semifinals for the 2nd time in the last 3 tournaments. And speaking of champions, Argentina once again showcased their title-winning DNA, displaying another late surge to defeat Switzerland and keep their quest for a 2nd straight World Cup title alive. Argentina once again found a way to win, grinding out an extra-time victory against the 10-man Switzerland side. This time, they didn't need Lionel Messi's heroics, as Julian Alvarez delivered one of the goals of the tournament with his signature finesse shot into the top right corner, before Lautaro Martinez sealed the 3-1 win in the final minutes of the game. England faces Argentina in the semifinal, number 2, in Atlanta on Wednesday. Former Miami Heat teammates Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero had a brief altercation at an NBA Summer League practice facility in Las Vegas on Friday. Adebayo reportedly struck Hero during the encounter, with many speculating the confrontation stemmed from Hero's recent comments on Instagram that appeared to throw shade at Bam. Hero was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks earlier this month, and the Heat acknowledged the incident but declined further comment. Hero as well made no comment about the altercation. The Miami Marlins came back down to earth this weekend after the Cleveland Guardians came into town and brought out the brooms as they swept the 3-game series. Cleveland's pitching and timely runs proved to be the deciding factors of this series, as they remained in control from start to finish in all 3 games. This series proved to be the wake-up call the Marlins needed, as this matchup highlighted the challenges they encounter against top-tier pitching, as the Guardians closed out the series with a 5-2 victory last night. The Fish will now look ahead to a series matchup versus the Milwaukee Brewers starting on Friday. You're watching Newsbreak, and we'll be coming right back.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
come together
And discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Frida Flores.
I'm Alejandro Hernandez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.